guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to go over the trades we ended up taking today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So, going into today, you guys already know we've been bearish for like who knows how long, the past like week or two, and we've only been focused on the shorts as long as the starting minute chart here is crossed. So, you guys can see exactly what happened today. I told you guys the exact setup I was looking for. Unfortunately though, like off of open, this is where we opened up. We ended up opening right here at this 50 SMA on the 635 puts. We pick new contracts every Monday and Friday. Today was Monday, so these are the contracts we had for the week for Monday to Thursday. So like I said, as long as this chart is crossed here on the 30-minute, market's bearish. So you guys can see kind of how this works. I mean, we crossed this 50 SMA is your massive support, but the bigger thing with how we've been recently is the higher time frames. Higher time frames are super bearish. We are crossed on every single one. Well, the 1 hour here is crossed. We ended up pulling back to the 50 there, pulled back to the 50 on the 2 hour, pulled back to the 50 on the 4 hour. So we pretty much were at all major supports right off of open. And I didn't take anything right off open just because I usually stay out the first like half hour, like at least 15 minutes. But yeah, you guys can see here on the fibs here, where did we end up rejecting? Look at this reject off open. Where's the open? Right up in here. Look where we rejected off of this 64, 65 fib perfectly. I mean, look at this. This is an absolute top tick right up in here. You would have been down like 4 or 5 points depending on when you actually entered that. But yeah, I stay away from like the opening trades. If you wanted to take the risk, you could have. I usually don't like playing these. A lot of the times I feel like off of open we do get aggressive moves above and below the fibs. So it's in your best interest not to take anything off the open. But I mean, the setup was there if you did want to take a stab at it, just because we were at every single time frame. I mean, 50, like we were at the 1 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour, 30-minute, every single 50 SMA we were at, and that was a major pivot point. And this is a trade that if you did end up taking, this is a trade you hold a lot longer, because we are at such a massive pivot point. You could expect a big move out of this. Like, this is like a trade that I would definitely hold for probably like 30 to 40 points before even taking any trims, just because of where we're at. It's all about context. We're sitting at every single support, and when we do that, that's going to end up marking a major pivot, a major bottom or top, in this case a top. So if you took this 65, you could have rode this all the way down to what? That's over 50 points. You could have taken a trim around like, that I probably would have been like 35, 40 point mark, and then go break even, and then just hold the rest until, either you could trail out when you get back above the 10, or you just go completely break even and just let it hold till the next fib, or just in a close. I mean, you could have milked this like crazy if you wanted to. This fib, I don't even think is a fib that I'd be using. That's still on my chart, but this 200% is kind of your next fib. So I mean, this went what, 63.59, over 100 points. I mean, that's an absurd move. Again, I didn't take this just because it was right off the open. I always stay away from the opening. First 10-15 minutes at least. But what did I take on Friday? Pretty much all I did was sit in a swing. So on Friday we ended up grabbing Tesla here for a swing. Still holding this full just because I know what this could possibly give us. So first off is the 30-minute here ended up crossing on Friday. I ended up buying this dip to the 10. The only reason I bought this dip here and not down in here was because look at the higher time frames. I mean, we pretty much pulled back almost to the 50. So I ended up scaling in there, and I got my full position on Friday. And yeah, we pulled back a little bit. This pullback, I was only down like 10%. I have contracts for the 17th, so a little bit more time. And I do plan on holding this a little bit longer. I was up like 50% today, no trims yet. You can see why I like the setup so much. 4 hour chart is just starting to cross here on the weeklies, and then if we flip to the monthlies, it gets even better. So if we flip to the monthlies, we obviously have this 4 hour chart crossing, but we'll look at what we got going on the daily chart here. We have this daily chart crossing. This is 100%. I mean, it crossed today. It'll be crossed tomorrow as long as there's no like significant crazy gap up. But this monthly chart looks so good. Tesla was coiling up at this 50 for so long. We're finally crossing. My stop loss on this trade is probably gonna be a daily close below this 50. That'll probably be a little bit wider of a stop maybe. But yeah, I mean, I just love how this looks on the monthly. Tesla looks like it's gonna go to zero. So yeah, I'm holding this trade for at least like 100%. So I know the risk rewards in my favor on this. And yeah, I mean, the most we were down on this was like 10%, I believe. So this could be like a 1 to 10. You know, if we did get stopped on it, okay, it's not gonna be a 1 to 10 risk reward. But at the moment, max draw now is like 10%. So this is what we're rocking with on Tesla. And yeah, I didn't take anything on SPY today. If we look at the 0DT chart, what do we end up getting? There was a cross here, but this wasn't. It's these crosses do happen where this 50's down super hard, super hard, and then it just instantly turns up at one point. And this wouldn't be one I'd take just because you'd want to dip to the 50 at this point. I don't like the risk to reward buying at the 10 up in here. I'd want the 50 to dip. So this cross, not really one to take. Your only trade really was that fib trade right off of open. So, if you're like me and trade off right off the open, there was nothing to take on SPY, and that's okay. I mean, I know that trade gave a ton of points, but at the same time, I could care less. We end up milking a trade on Friday, and I'm currently sitting in Tesla, and we're up nice. So, yeah, pretty much was just letting Tesla play out today, and go from there. So, yeah, that's what we did today. Going into tomorrow, it's pretty much the same game plan every single day. I mean, just look for put cross, and then if we do get any sort of pumps to the upside on SPY, look for this 50 dip on the 30-minute here. So this 30-minute 50 is going to be your massive support. If any fib here lines up on ES with it, then you could take a short off of it. But other than that, I mean, it's a simple game plan. I have no interest in longing, and when I say no interest in longing, that doesn't mean we can't bounce. It's just my best interest is to be taking shorts as long as we're cross on the 30 minutes. So it's very simple to understand that. And yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing the last week or two. Like, there's been really no longs on the table. Look for your put cross, look for your fib short, and that'll be that. So that's pretty much all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, join the Corey if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.